Be me, mid-twenties guy, have a girlfriend. She is, and I cannot stress this enough, the cleanest human being on planet Earth. We're talking color-coded spice rack. We're talking... She once reorganized my sock drawer without asking, and then left a laminated index card explaining the new system. We're talking, she carries a travel-sized lint roller in her purse at all times. Like a weapon, I love her. She is insane, but I love her. So one day I'm at work, long shift, tired. Leave my laptop at home, which I never do. Get a text around noon. Her, hey, so I came over to drop off your lunch because you forgot it. And also I reorganized your bookshelf by color and height. Me, you have a key for emergencies. Her, this was an emergency. Your bookshelf looked like a crime scene. Okay, fine, whatever. This is normal for us. Get home that evening. She's sitting at my kitchen table, hands folded, very still, like a lawyer about to present evidence. There is a glass of water in front of her, perfectly, centered on a coaster. Of course. Me. Hey. Her. Hey. Me. You okay? Her. I found your folder. Brain stops. Time stops. The entire universe pauses to laugh at me. Me. Which folder? Her. The one called Miscellaneous Documents 2019. Me. That's just old tax stuff. Her. It is not old tax stuff. She slides my laptop toward me, opens. There it is, my folder, my deeply carefully hidden, extremely personal folder, full of, let's say, inspiration, images, scenarios, vibes, things I thought about but never said out loud. My face is the color of a fire truck. Her. I wasn't snooping. I was cleaning your desktop and I thought it was clutter. Me. It was not clutter. Her. No, it was not. She's not yelling. That's the scary part. She's just looking at me with those eyes. The eyes she makes when she's about to solve a problem. Her. Some of these are very disorganized. Me. I'm sorry. Her. The folder. There's no system. Some of these are duplicates. This one is blurry. Why do you have a blurry one? When there are clearer versions available, I don't know how to respond to this. Me. I collected them over time. Her. Casually, with no organizational method. Me. Yes. Her. That's actually what bothers me most. She pulls out a notepad. A notepad. She has been here for hours. She has notes. Her. Okay, so I went through everything. Me. You went through everything. Her. I made a list. She turns the notepad around. There is a numbered list. There are categories. There are little check boxes. I am going to pass away. Her. Some of these are very achievable. Some need planning. One of them requires a specific type of lighting setup, which I've already researched. Me. You researched the lighting. Her. Soft, warm tones, probably around 2,700 Kelvin. I found a bulb on sale. I sit down. I need to sit down. Me. What exactly are you saying right now? Her. I'm saying your folder is a mess, and the only logical solution is to go through it systematically and do them properly. Me. Do them. Her. Recreate. Them, with intention and good lighting. She says this the same way she'd say we should reorganize the pantry. Completely calm, completely serious, absolutely unhinged. Me. You're not upset? Her. I was briefly concerned by the lack of file structure, but no, I'm not upset. Me. Why not? Her. Because I know you, and also because frankly some of these show very good taste. She taps item number 4 on her list. I look at it. I look at her. She raises an eyebrow. I think I'm in love in a way I didn't know was possible. So that's how it starts. The project, as she calls it. Capital T, capital P. The project. She makes a shared document. Of course she does. Color-coded tabs, timeline, notes column, a column for required materials, a column for ambiance considerations. First item on the list is relatively simple. Cozy evening, soft lighting, oversized sweater, rain sounds. She texts me 3 days later. Her. Okay. So I found the perfect sweater. It's a cream-ribbed knit. Also I downloaded 4 different rain ambiance tracks and ranked them by authenticity. Me. You ranked rain sounds. Her. The first one had fake thunder, and that felt dishonest. That Friday she shows up. Cream sweater. Hair slightly messy, which for her is a deliberate choice that probably took 20 minutes. She's holding a candle she picked specifically for its scent profile. She dims my lights to what she's determined is the correct percentage. Puts on rain track number 2. Sits on my couch. And it's perfect. It's actually perfect. Better than anything in the folder, because she's there. We just sit together, and it's the best evening I've had in years. She checks it off her list. Actually gets out her phone and checks it off. Smiles to herself. Tiny satisfied smile. Me, you're really enjoying this. Her, I enjoy completing things correctly. Me, is that all this is to you, completing a task? Her, no, but completing it correctly is very satisfying bonus. Week 2, item number 7. This one involves a picnic, specific vibe, golden hour, checkered blanket, fruit. She sends me a 17-message planning thread. She has researched optimal golden hour timing for our exact geographic coordinates. She has found a checkered blanket in the correct dimensions. She has opinions about which fruits photograph best in warm light and also taste the best. And she has made a chart about fruit. I show up to the park. Everything is laid out with geometric precision. The blanket corners are perfectly aligned with some invisible grid only she can see. The fruit is arranged by color gradient. It looks like a magazine shoot. She's sitting in the middle of it, looking pleased with herself. Me, did you use a ruler for the fruit? Her, I use my eye. Me, really? Her, and then I adjusted with a ruler. Yes. We sit there as the sun goes down. Golden light hits everything just right. She was correct about the timing to the minute. Of course she was. She leans against my shoulder, very still, very warm. She smells like the specific candle she selected. Her, this is nice. Me, yeah. Her, I calculated correctly. Me, you always do. Her, not always. Sometimes I'm off by small margins. Me, devastating. Her, it genuinely is. I laugh. She smiles into my shoulder. Check. Week 3 is when things get slightly chaotic. Item number 12. This one is more elaborate. Involves a specific kind of spontaneous, messy, laughing too hard energy. Her problem, she cannot do spontaneous. Spontaneous is her nemesis. Spontaneous is uncontrolled variables. She tries to plan spontaneity. Actually writes in the document, scheduled spontaneous moment, duration approximately 4 to 7 minutes, trigger in TBD. I find this document, I read this entry. I have to leave the room to laugh. She follows me. Her, what's funny? Me, scheduled spontaneous moment. Her, I need a framework. Me, you cannot schedule being spontaneous. That's the whole point. Her, then how does anyone do it? Me, you just let things happen. Her, that sounds horrible. She genuinely looks distressed, like I've told her gravity might be optional. Me, okay, new rule. For this one, you're not allowed to plan. Her, define not allowed. Me, no lists, no charts, no research. We just go out and see what happens. Her, for how long? Me, until something funny or good happens. Her, what if nothing happens? Me, something always happens. Her, that is statistically unlikely to be universally true, but she agrees because she wants to complete the project correctly. And she knows this one requires a different approach. So we go out. No plan, just walking. She's visibly tense for the first 10 minutes, keeps almost reaching for her phone. I gently redirect her hand. She exhales like she's defusing a bomb. Then it happens. We find a little street market neither of us knew about. She sees a booth selling vintage organization supplies. Old recipe card boxes, vintage label makers, antique file folders. Her eyes go wide. She grabs my arm. Her, do you see this? Me, I see it. Her, this is a 1960s rotary card file. Do you understand what this is? Me, I understand you need it. Her, I need it. She buys it. She's glowing. Actually glowing. Happier than I've ever seen her. We end up at a little food cart eating something neither of us planned to eat. She drops some sauce on her sleeve. Normally this would be a crisis. Instead, she just laughs. Actual, real, surprised laugh. Her, that's fine. That's okay. It's fine. Me, are you okay? Her, I'm practicing being okay with it. Me. How's that going? Her. Surprisingly okay. She looks up at me, sauce on her sleeve, vintage card file under her arm, hair a little windblown. Best she's ever looked. Check. The project continues. Weeks go by. Each item gets its own preparation, its own evening, its own version of her complete and total dedication. She starts adding items to the list. New ones. Hers. I notice one day she's added about 11 new entries at the bottom. I scroll through them. They're not from my folder, they're from her head. Things she wants, things she's apparently been thinking about, described in her precise, detailed, slightly clinical way. One of them just says, surprise him. Method, unknown. Timing, when correct. Note, this one is hard for me, but I want to try. I close the document. I don't say anything. 2 days later, she shows up at my place unannounced. No text, no warning, just knocks. I open the door. She's standing there with takeout from my favorite place, slightly out of breath like she walked fast, looking like she's just done something very brave. Her, I didn't plan this. Me, I know. Her, it was uncomfortable. Me, you did great. Her, I stood outside for 4 minutes deciding if I should text first. Me, but you didn't. Her, but I didn't. She holds up the takeout. Small, proud smile. I step aside and let her in. She walks past me and immediately straightens a picture frame that was slightly crooked. Can't help it. Never will be able to. Help it. I wouldn't change it. We eat on the couch. No ambiance research. No color temperature calculation. Just us and bad TV and food getting slightly cold. Her, this is messier than I planned. Me, you didn't plan it. Her, right, that's what I mean. It's messier than my non-plan planned for. Me, is that okay? Her, yeah, it actually is. She leans into me, finds her usual spot, settles in like she's been calibrated to fit there. Me, hey. Her, me, the folder thing. You were really not upset? Her, I told you. No. Me, why not though? Really? Her, because it told me things about you. What you actually wanted. What you thought about. And then I just, me, decided to do something about it. Her, I prefer to solve problems rather than be upset about them. Me, I'm not a problem. Her, no, you're a project. Me, there's a difference. Her, projects are things you choose. Things worth the effort. She says it simply, matter of fact, like it's obvious. She reaches over without looking and adjusts my coaster so it's perfectly parallel to the table edge, automatically, instinctively, then goes right back to watching TV. And I'm sitting there thinking, this is it. This is actually it. This slightly unhinged, hyper-organized, rain sound ranking, fruit chart making, lint roller carrying woman chose to respond to finding my secret folder by making a color-coded plan to improve my life. That's love. Weird, meticulous, slightly alarming love. But love, MFW. My clean freak girlfriend turned my embarrassing folder into a relationship arc. MFW. She's already added 17 more items to the list. MFW. I'm not even a little bit mad about it. Be happy.